In this video series, we are looking at writing support strategies you can use at home to help your child grow as a writer. I'm Kathleen Pittman. I am the founder of Our Learning Studio and academic support practice serving students and their families across the country. Today, let's take a look at the steps in the writing process. It can be overwhelming for a child to have a blank page or a blank computer screen and they need to go to a published writing piece. If we can break things down into small steps and give the visual support to help them get from the brainstorming process to the published writing piece, it makes the writing process less overwhelming. Let's take a look at the steps in the writing process. So if we can give our child a visual support, and this can be as simple as writing these steps on a whiteboard, it could be writing them on index cards, one step on each card, hole punch put on a ring, and they're turning to the step that they're on. This is the steps that I use in Writing Workshop Building the Basics, my online writing course. And so the students can print this and they either put a paper clip or a marker on each step and they move it as they transition to each step. And they also have the option to have them on cards on a ring. So children tend to understand and recall things that they can see and not just hear. So this visual support can help them move from step to step. So if we look at that first step, the brainstorming process, we're coming up with a topic. And so we think, can we offer visual support here? And so here's an example of a really simple brainstorming map for an explanatory writing piece. I know how to, and can we brainstorm 4 different things we know how to do? So in the brainstorming, you can just even turn that paper over or, on the screen, just jot down a few ideas. Then your child will decide which topic they want to choose. So we've brainstormed a topic, brainstormed some thoughts about that topic, and now it's time to plan. It also helps to have visual support for planning. Does not need to be elaborate. Here's a little bit more of a detailed planner with the topic, an opening sentence, the supplies you would need for their explanatory writing, the steps, and on the planner, they're jotting down notes. It does not have to be in detailed, elaborate sentences, just notes and an idea for closing. Here's another example of a planner for an opinion piece with 3 supporting details or reasons for backing up that opinion. And this planner then is the springboard for the draft. The draft becomes so much less intimidating if the planner is there, and now I can pull my ideas from the planner. And so then it's time to write the draft and then get into revising and editing. With my youngest writers, I would do a mini conference here after the draft to help guide their revising and editing. With my older students, with upper elementary and above, they tend to revise and edit before they come to a formal conference. So remember, revising is what we do to make our writing sound better. It might be adding more details, rearranging paragraphs, eliminating information, and editing. That would be the mechanics, going through looking at grammar, punctuation, sentence structure. And I do like to provide, it is helpful to have a visual support for revising and editing, a checklist to go through so that they have that support. So if you were doing this at home with your child, you may want to do a very simple editing checklist where they check for capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. You could just pick a few things that you want them to look for and make them a brief little checklist on a whiteboard, piece of paper just for them to be able to check off. Right, so we've done brainstorming, planning, writing the draft, revising and editing. Now it's time for the formal conference where we look over the entire piece of work and offer some guidance. If there are words missing, if looking at the opening sentence, do we need to make an opening sentence to hook the reader? Is there a closing to wrap up the whole paper? And that conference and make those last minute changes. And then it's time to publish and share. And in another video, I'm going to show you lots of different ways that your child can publish their work to make it a fun activity for them. So, and with this visual support, one last thought is that children also do well when they know there's an endpoint, particularly if they're a reluctant writer, to see, I'm going to go through each step. There is a final endpoint where I will complete my work. Okay. All right. So I will see you next time with more tips to help you support your blossoming writer at home.